Hello and a warm welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. President Bola Tinubu has again restated his administration's commitment towards checkmating all forms of insecurity in Nigeria, particularly banditry in parts of the country. Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State conveyed this assurance after his meeting with the president at the State House. Fielding questions from State House correspondents afterwards, the governor lamented the worsening security situation in Zamfara, but said President Tinubu has promised to take drastic decisions on the situation.
The center of banditry as we speak today. And if nothing is done in Zamfara, I don't think we'll be able to solve the situation in the entire northern Nigeria. As you know, most of the people that were kidnapped ended up in Zamfara State, and that is not good for us. And therefore, we're doing everything to change the narratives. And that is one of the reasons why I'm here today, and I complain to Mr. President, and I have his assurance that something drastic will be done as quickly as possible to take care of the situation.
Zulum, who disclosed that the president has approved the immediate takeoff of the Federal College of Education, Goza.
That is something that is very important and very dear to the entire people of Borno State. Secondly, we spoke about the lecture basin. Now that we are having relative peace in Borno State, there is a need for government to ensure re-establishment of South Chad irrigation project. South Chad irrigation project has tremendous potentials to produce food to cater for the needs of the entire northern Nigeria, or I can say even the entire country. But as a result of insecurity in the region, the irrigation scheme is not functioning very well for the last decade or more than a decade. I spoke with them, Mr. President, and the President will look into the possibility of establishing a very strong security outfit in the Lake Chad basin so that people shall have access to the agricultural lands.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has extended his congratulations to Mr. Bassirou Diomaye Faye on his election as the President of the Republic of Senegal. In a statement by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Anjouri Gelali, President Tinubu notes that the President-elect comes with great promise and a sterling record, wishing him success as he takes on this important job of leading the good people of Senegal. The President also congratulates the outgoing President, Macky Sall, for overseeing an election that has been widely adjudged as peaceful and transparent. President Tinubu states that the success of the presidential election in Senegal and the successful conduct of the general election in Liberia a few months ago affirmed his long-held conviction that the taproot of democracy is deeply established in West Africa and will only grow stronger as it is watered by good governance, justice and fairness to all. As the chairman of ECOWAS, the president affirms that the successful conduct of the Senegal election is a boost to the sub-regional organization in its efforts to promote peace and constitutional order, as well as strengthen ties among member states. President Tinubu congratulates the people of Senegal and assures them of Nigeria's best wishes and support. The federal government has hailed the pivotal role of youths and creativity in shaping Nigeria's future, declaring that innovation is the driving force behind the nation's manufacturing sector. Vice President Kashim Shettima, at the official launch of the National Design and Innovation Competition in the Presidential Villa, emphasized that the future belongs to the youths and the creatives. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
I wish to officially launch the National Design and Innovation Competition. Thank you so much.
It is a new dawn for digital and creative economy as the National Design and Innovation Competition comes on board as it aims to spur entrepreneurship and creative ventures among Nigerians. The federal government-supported program is organized by the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria.
And the average age of the Nigerian nation is 19. So this is an age group that are pregnant with ideas for innovation and for the social and economic transformation of the Nigerian nation. I see no reason why we shouldn't support them. These are people not begging us to give them contracts or anything. They want us to create the enabling environment for them to explore their full potentials. And this is an ecosystem that they are very much familiar with. And Nigerians are excellent innovators. I want to align myself with your aspirations. And I want to commend you for Made by Design, your Netflix series that brought positive light to the Nigerian nation. And of course, it's not the size of a bank that matters. It's the drive. Is the commitment of the leadership.
Vice President Kashim Shettima said innovation drives manufacturing and Nigeria is brimming with possibilities and opportunities. The federal government's support for youth aspirations and entrepreneurship. The Vice President at the meeting commended financial institutions backing the creative sector. He announced plans to include young innovators in the government $617.7 million investment in digital and creative enterprises. Addressing economic concerns, the Vice President declared that the worst is over, noting that the Naira will continue to stabilize in the coming weeks and months as President Bola Tinubu administration tackles issues like food security, nutrition and insecurity.
We understand the unemployment challenges in Nigeria, and we have a whole creative community that have creativity but no formal education. We're pleased to launch this competition, which starts with a training program to train 1 million designers and creatives in product, furniture and industrial design.
As we all know, in line with Mr. President's 8-point agenda, job creation is a vital and a key component of that. So that's why we're excited to partner with her, because this project that the Vice President just launched has the potential of generating 1 million jobs.
The initiative, which aims to equip aspiring creatives with necessary skills and access to training, will feature design competitions and workshops where participants can showcase their prototypes and work with top Nigerian manufacturers. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Building synergy for enhanced development in the oil and gas sector is the theme of a 3-day retreat organized by the Ministry of Petroleum Resources in Abuja. The two ministers for oil and gas are both categorical that a performance bond in line with the mandate of President Bola Tinubu will sign on measurable and achievable deliverables in the sector. Lydia Sampson reports.
Rolling out vision and targets in line with key performance indicators, Minister of State Petroleum Resources Oil, Henneke Lokobiri, and the Minister of State Petroleum Resources Gas, Ekperikpe Ekpo, urged technocrats across the value chains to produce globally competitive regulatory frameworks to propel pragmatic and practical change in the sector.
Any investment we don't bring to this country by June, we'll have to wait until they take decisions by next year. The world is not waiting for Nigeria. And the countries in the Middle East, the countries that are producing oil, all of them are competing for the same capital. And so, the essence of this retreat is to see how we can meet the key performance indicators given to us.
Nigeria, endowed with over 209 trillion cubic feet of gas proven, should not be grappling with energy poverty. It is imperative for us collectively to confront these challenges head-on. In alignment with the overreaching goal of fostering high performance.
By building synergy and exploring new business models, they are optimistic that oil and gas sector will play a pivotal role in the energy transition by maximizing potentials and economic growth towards a more sustainable energy mix and energy security. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, says Nigeria will no longer grant mining licenses to mining companies who do not add local value to extracted raw materials in the country. This was during his tour of G African Natural Resources iron ore plant in Kaduna State, accompanied by Minister of Trade and Investment, Minister of States and of Trade and Investment, Ekene Ndulue reports.
Gujeni village embodies huge investments in iron ore with the production value chain from crushing, separation and purification. For the management, it is in line with the policy of the present administration to reduce steel importation and make Nigeria self-sufficient in steel production.
We have a mining capacity of over 6 million tons per annum. The direct reduced iron produced here will be a direct substitute for ferrous scrap currently used as raw material for producing steel in Nigeria. It will also gradually position Nigeria as a prominent crude steel producer globally.
The ministers note that the $600 million investment is a milestone in industrial development in the country, a critical aspect of the Renewed Hope agenda.
To all other companies in this sector, this is the way to go. When we say that we are going to restructure the economy of Nigeria, it's not rhetoric. This is a practical example of it.
With the Infrastructure Development Fund that was launched and also with the Industrial Revitalization Plan of the Ministry, you can only say that the steel industry is about to see a boom.
The task ahead is enormous. The understanding of what lies ahead is sealed with the presentation of mementos to the ministers and representative of the host community. Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
As part of another round of interventions, the Renewed Hope initiative will in the next few weeks flag off its women agricultural support programs for other geopolitical zones of the country. While announcing this at a quarterly meeting with wives of state governors at the Villa, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu urged them and other points of contact with her initiative to do more in facilitating smooth delivery of opportunities to beneficiaries in their respective states. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo has more.
The quarterly meeting with Renewed Hope Initiative state coordinators is a platform to take stock, get reports from the subnationals on the implementation of ongoing interventions, as well as get updates for coming programs. Since the last meeting, interventions including Women Agricultural Support Program, WASP, have been implemented in the Southeast, while distribution of free exercise books across the state was also flagged off in the FCT. While she applauded the implementation of some of the programs, especially WASP, an alternative high school for girls in Bauchi State, the First Lady notes that the number of beneficiaries for scholarships and other opportunities will increase even further, with coordinators doing more for their citizens to access available opportunities.
So I want us to be good ambassadors of our various states and take all this home.
Done with stock taking, the First Lady also took time out to enumerate some of the interventions lined up, starting with agriculture.
Collaboration with the Ministry of Agri for agricultural programs for women and young men. So we want every state to give us 100 beneficiaries, 75 women and 25 young men who are into farming or who would want to go into farming.
And there is more.
TET fund. Their intervention is to support us in our various tertiary institutions. So they are looking at infrastructure improvement, scholarship, donation, equipment of ICT facilities to our tertiary institutions in the state. So we want you to nominate one institution to start with.
She also announced April 13th for the launch of the We Are Equal campaign of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, OFLAD, in keeping with her pledge to use education as a focal point in driving the campaign. In the State House, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
And we'll continue with Nationwide now. The federal government at various stages of famine is making efforts to mitigate all forms of pest attacks likely to reduce bumper harvests in the country. Minister for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, said this at the flag-off of the 2023-2024 aerial spray control of trans-boundary agricultural pests in Kebbi State. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
At Kebbi State feat in food production, agricultural pests such as quail birds attack has robbed many farmers of bumper harvest over the years. It is therefore not out of place for Kebbi State to be the federal government's first choice for the flag-off of the dry season aerial spray control of transboundary agricultural pests for 12 frontline states in the country.
The pesticides have been destroying most of our farm products. So I believe it will go a long way to aid food security.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, says the federal government pest control will be a continuous one until pests, especially quail birds, are eliminated across 12 frontline states in the country.
We are also committed to building the capacity of both federal and state government technical field staff through continual refresher trainings to prepare them to prevent and respond to migratory pest invasion safely, responsibly, and in an environmentally friendly manner.
I know the federal government is doing a lot to assist the state to develop agriculture and to produce more food for the citizens of this country.
12 agricultural frontline states are Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Gombe, Katsina, Kano, and Jigawa. Others are Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Yobe, and Taraba states. Brunei Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu.
Okay, let's now take you back to our side broadcast crew for the burial of the slain soldiers in Delta State.